Welcome back to another episode of Knucklehead Garage. There's been a lot that's happened since the last episode. Some good, some not so good. Either way, the goal of this episode is to get Wally to pass inspection. Woo! Let's go! For those of you up to date, know that while he's been on the road, he's registered, he's insured, I've got a license plate for him. Boom. But now that window of uninspected driving is actually closed, so I actually have to get this guy inspected before I take him out again. In the last episode, I pretty much did the bare minimum to get this guy on the road safely, but I gotta go through all of the electricals and make sure everything's now ready for inspection. The other thing that happened in the last episode is I did have a little bit of a coolant leak, which I thought subsided. Turns out it was a real coolant leak, and I had two issues. One, the water pump failed. It looks like the main seal went, and then also I am getting some leakage from the radiator. And you can actually see plenty of signs of coolant spraying throughout the engine bay, which is a bummer because we just cleaned it. So now I've got to replace the main seal on the water pump, which I actually have the parts to do that. And I do have the other radiator actually out to be rebuilt, which I just heard back from today actually needs to get re-cored. But once I get those things squared away, it should be a brand new cooling system. These early 1950s International L series had headlights, high beam, low beam. They also actually came with marker lights, which you can't see here because it's covered up with fiberglass and Bondo. I'm not sure why the previous owner did that. You can actually see from the back, everything is actually still intact and they just covered right over it. And I think when that was kind of deleted, someone added these cheap plastic lights, which are now falling apart, as marker lights as well. This truck actually did not come with blinkers, so these were still probably marker lights, although there was a toggle switch in there, which I'm not sure if they were using that as a directional. But either way, to pass inspection, I don't actually need blinkers. I will eventually put blinkers on, but for today, I just want to get marker lights back in there, which I think they're going to actually check. I'm going to take this guy out. I'm not going to try to undelete the marker light here. That will be probably in the future. But I am going to add a marker light. And I actually found these 6-volt marker lights on eBay, pretty cheap. There happens to actually be a hole in the bumper, which they will fit nicely into and look something like that, which I think looks pretty cool. I got Cal out here. He's gonna help demonstrate how the lights are working. So Cal, do you want to turn, oh, you got the front lights on. Marker lights are on. Can you turn the headlights on? There you go. Can you do the high beam, low beam with your feet? All right, we got high beam, we got low beam. All right, press the brakes really hard. We got brake lights, and we got license plate lights. So we are almost there. And so now we got to figure out wipers and horn. I did end up going out and just getting a brand new horn because I didn't want to mess with the one that's there. And I was surprised. I actually found this one 6 volt. It's 1.5 amp, I think. Yeah, 1.5 amp, 6 volt. Says 105 dBA, which is super loud, and I'm skeptical because of how cheap it was. So I'm just going to try it out here with my power supply. 6 volts. And the polarity shouldn't matter. This is going to be a little bit different than what's on the truck right now since the truck is grounded chassis. So I'll just have to take off a ground and connect it to the spade, which shouldn't be a big deal. See how loud this thing is, how many amps it draws. Oh. All right. That is very loud, and I wasn't even getting up to 1.5 amps, so that will be plenty. So I got to install this. That's next. Now on wipers. Originally, I actually thought this was vacuum wipers because that's what I've got on the 1966 Scout. This is a 52. And on the L130 I have as a parts truck, it's wipers. So this one didn't actually have a switch when I bought it. So I was actually surprised to take out an electric motor from that area. Now I haven't confirmed that it was originally built with an electric wiper, but that's a pretty big upgrade for those trucks, especially the half-ton pickup trucks. But this could have been a well-optioned truck because it was a L112. Did a little bit of research. Not that common. Some of the bigger trucks, 1-ton, 2-ton trucks, had electric wipers, either standard or more typical. So what I did was I took the motor out, I cleaned it up the best I could. I was able to get it working by applying 6 volts after it was totally cleaned up. But as I started to add components back, so gears onto the worm gears, basically adding more friction, the motor would just stop turning. So there must be something wrong with the inner windings, something in the motor itself. I know I could get this one rebuilt for a lot of money, like 300, 400 bucks. Instead, I actually found another motor, 6 volt motor from a larger truck. And this is actually the same person I bought the rear axle from, which is kind of cool. So I haven't actually tried this yet. I'm going to make sure it works. He claims it did when he sent it to me, which is great, and it's complete. So hopefully I don't have to take this apart and clean it out a little bit. I also, where is it? I found a switch because I didn't have one. So it's a 3-position switch, high, low, off. And I'm going to try to get this hooked up and see if it actually works. So if I can get this and the horn hooked up, then we're pretty much ready for inspection. So let's do it. Before I go ahead and install the new wiper motor, I want to verify that it works and also that it works with the new switch that I purchased as well. So I was able to wire this up kind of by trial and error, so I think it's working. And I am powering it from the 6 volt battery in the truck because my my power supply didn't have quite enough current to actually get this thing running on the bench. So I've got everything powered up. I do have to hold ground because I don't have another clamp, but let's see. I think it's off right now. Oh no, it's on right now. And that kind of clicking that you hear, let me see if I can get a closer view. So this blade that's coming around is actually making contact with this momentary switch. That's actually what keeps it stopped when the wipers are down. So when I actually turn the power off, it should keep going until the wipers are in the down position. If I go off, it should still spin until it comes to that resting position and then turn off by itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed and actually see if it runs, see if it works once I have all the rest of the mechanical linkage hooked up as well. Let's do it. This install is gonna be quite tricky. I've got the wiper arms attached, which I think I need to do. So somehow I gotta get them lined up and through the front cowl under the windshield there. I think I also have to have this pre-installed because I don't have access to it after it's up there. And I feel like this is one of those things I'm gonna need like 8 hands And I've got 2. So hopefully it doesn't take forever. That did take me like an hour plus to do, but it's done. And I got the switch installed here. And so right now it's off. I have power to it, so hopefully this works. Well, I assume it's off, so if I turn it 1, yep. So we got movement there, and then there is one more position, which doesn't, oh. Ah, okay. So that position is intermittent. So there's steady, intermittent, and then off. And again, I think that off stops the wipers down. So I'm gonna go try to install the wiper blades in that position, and hopefully they actually move one step closer. I got the horn installed under the hood, and now that works, which is pretty cool. So officially, I think I'm done with wiring for inspection. There's still some more things I want to do. There's a dome light up here I want to figure out. Dash lights I want to get figured out, and some other kind of odds and ends, but should be good to pass inspection, fingers crossed. The last thing that I have on my list is actually mirrors, and I'm pretty sure the only regulation is to have one mirror that you can see behind you on the left, which I have, but there's actually no mirror there. And I don't think this truck actually came with any more mirrors. There is one on the passenger side, but there is no rear view. Doesn't look like there were signs of anything there. So I'm gonna do a quick upgrade. I found a side mirror that looks a little bit more original, circular, and it actually has mirror in it. So I'm gonna replace my side view mirror with that. I'm gonna take off the passenger side mirror, and I found this awesome rear view mirror from someone that had an R-Series truck, so something that was a little bit more new, and I don't know if it was stock or not, but it fits pretty nicely, and it will be nice to be able to look out the back. The couple times I've driven this so far, I really do need to see behind me, which I can't do right now. So I'm gonna get those installed, and then also, my dad actually recovered visors. So this is actually the passenger one, which this truck never had, but it does actually have a place for it. I just got to drill holes. And then I got the driver's side, which is going to go up there, which is kind of cool. So I got a couple more odds and ends, and then the big one is redoing the coolant system. I did get the rebuilt radiator back, so that's here, and then I do have the parts to do the water pump. So as soon as I get these kind of odds and ends buttoned up, I'm going to switch to that, and then I should be good to go get this thing inspected. I got the visors installed, I got the rear view mirror installed, and I got the side view mirror installed. And it's actually looking pretty good. Now I got to get back to the cooling system. And for those of you guys that have been following along, this is actually going to be my 3rd time replacing this cooling system. The original time it just started to leak. I took the water pump out and I put a new main gasket on it. It started to leak again. And now what's in here is actually the radiator from Rusty Bobby and the water pump from Rusty Bobby. So I'm going to focus on getting the radiator out, then the water pump, rebuild the water pump, put the water pump back in, put the radiator back in, and keep my fingers crossed that 3rd time's a charm and this thing isn't going to leak. So let's do it. It took me like no time to take that off because I'm getting pretty good at it. I've done it a couple times. So now we're going to focus on taking the water pump itself apart. And we're going to start by taking the fan off. There's a pulley we have to take off. And the reason I'm here at my buddy's place is because he has a press. So we have to actually press the shaft off that has the bearing and then actually put the new seal in. This is the seal. We did actually have to modify the impeller. We had to take about 1/4 of an inch off because this seal is about 1/4 of an inch taller than the original seal. Hopefully we can get everything apart and put everything back together and back on the truck. So let's do it. We are headed to get Wally inspected, and I'm confident but a little nervous because I realized my e-brake doesn't work, and I think that's something they check. But we got everything ready. We even got the license plate ready. Lights are good, horns good. I don't know, let's see. Keep our fingers crossed. Passed inspection, barely, and they had the truck in there, and he actually called the RMV because it was smoking so much, but there was nothing that he could do because there's no emissions. So they were running it really rich in there. I think that's why it was smoking, but everything safety-wise seemed good, so we're on the way home. We did have an issue restarting it. I think there's a vapor lock thing going on, so I'll need to figure that out, but we passed, so we're good to drive on the street legally now, which is awesome. Well, that wraps up this episode, a successful episode. We did get inspected. There are plenty of things to do. There is a vapor lock that I just mentioned that I want to figure out, or something's going on. It's hard to restart, and there's a lot more work. I got to get the glass installed. I want to get some more lights on the inside, but next episode, I am super psyched. We are going to transform the look of this truck with wheels and tires. So stay tuned for that one. That's going to be a big one. And yeah, if you guys like this stuff, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And we will see you on the next one. See ya.